This past week, I put up the video for Nemesis Enforcer right here, and in that video, I had mentioned that there was no swivel in the legs, nothing in the thighs, nothing in the boots. Well, a kind viewer left a comment and let me know that that is wrong and that my joints must have been really frozen because he does have a thigh swivel right here. Right here where like there's this boot cut, I had to put some heat on that, and even now, it's sticky that there is thigh swivel on Nemesis. Still nothing at the boot, but there is this hidden joint right there, which I think they did a really good job of hiding it with like his armor pieces right here. So I just wanted to update that and clarify that. Hello everybody, Mac here. Welcome back to the show. Welcome to Show and Tell. And once again, it's a little bit sparse today, but considering all of the shenanigans that are going on with imports right now, plus we're coming up on Comic-Con, so the big companies would be naturally pulling back reveals and waiting for Comic-Con. Also, as far as G.I. Joe Classified goes, next month is Yojo June, so that is probably all having an effect of why things are a little slow right now, but we do have some stuff to talk about. And the first thing we're going to talk about is crowdfunder updates, but also I got something to show off because one of my crowdfunders arrived today, and that is Heavy Metal issue 1. They're reissuing the Heavy Metal magazine, which I'm very excited about. I loved this magazine when I was a kid, not even necessarily for the articles. I loved the artwork, and they've done a reprint of a lot of the original artwork for this issue 1. Also, by the way, just check out how thick this mag is. This is like a $15 magazine, and it is beautiful. I haven't even opened the plastic yet to take a look inside. I'm thinking of buying one off the rack and flipping through that one and keeping these sealed up. So this is cover A. This is the Greg Hildebrandt cover, and this is pretty much like that classic cover from when it first came out. But this isn't the only thing that I got. I also got, probably no surprise here, the Frank Frazetta cover. If you've been watching the show, if you've been paying attention to my videos on the Icon Collectibles Frazetta figures, I'm really into Frazetta's artwork. I always pointed out I have his work right there on my wall. There's another one right here that you can't see, but I loved this cover right here. This is another one that's available on the stand. Frazetta's artwork, like, come on, that's iconic. Iconic. And I love how the logo is kind of just falling off right there. Heavy Metal was a great magazine. Made a really cool movie about it too. And then there is, of course, the Kickstarter exclusives. That this is just, it's just called the Tarna cover, Virgin cover. You can see there's no Heavy Metal logo on it. A great image of Tarna right here. This is by, I can never pronounce his name, Brereton, Brereton. This is a Kickstarter exclusive. It says right there, 1 of 500. So I wanted this one. I knew if I was going to get one of the Kickstarter exclusives, I wanted Tarna. I actually want an action figure of Tarna. I would love to be able to get her, to put her with like my Sword and Sorcery collection. The only one that's out right now is the Loose Collector, and it comes with her mount, who's the mount's name I cannot remember right now. But like, I was kind of holding out, hoping that there might be another version of her being released, but I might end up getting that Loose Collector figure because, like, iconic. She played a big part in the animated movie too, by the way. And as an add-on, I just picked up the Tarna trade paperback that has issues 1 through 4 on it. I have never actually read this, so I'm real excited about getting to read it now. Another Kickstarter to take a look at, crowdfunder, is something that has gone up, and it is pretty much funded already, and that is the hardback book Becoming Frazetta. Once again, talking about how much this artist has influenced pop culture, how much this artist has influenced me, because I was exposed to his work at a very young age just because of the Conan novels that were around the house. And this is something like I'm probably going to jump in on this. It is a hardback tome that is the early life of Frank Frazetta and his climb to becoming the iconic artist that he is, or that he was, rather. It has a funding goal of $10,000, and they have broken that. They are now at $37,701. So it's funded. It's going to print. Time of recording, I don't think there's anything about unlocked stretch goals. Let me just double check real fast. Okay, I was way wrong about that. There are 3 stretch goals that have unlocked. There's an added Frazetta story, which is a 5-page story that's going to be added into the book. There is another added Frazetta story that has been unlocked, but this is called Little Sir Richard, which is a short story, I believe. Looks like it's an animated story, so like a little bit mini comic that's inside it. And then there's another one that was unlocked that's just called Added Rarities. And the next unlock is going to be at $45,000, which is Frazetta postcards. So there have been 3 of the 4s unlocked, and that is really cool. Once again, hardbound. There is the standard cover. There is a Kickstarter exclusive cover. Pledges start at $100 and go up from there. Shipping in the US looks like it's going to be $25 to $34, depending on how much you get with that. So there will be a link, as always, to all of this in the description below. If you're a Frazetta fan, check this out. Now we break in with some bad news, and we're going to go through this really fast because I don't want to dwell on this stuff, and I'm sure this is all stuff that you've heard of. But the first one we're going to be talking about is Diamond Select Toys is shutting down. So that means Diamond Select, Marvel Select is being shut down. We don't know what's happening with the IPs, but anybody who had Diamond Select figures or toys on pre-order, like I did for House of the Dragon and things like that, more than likely they're going to get canceled. Also, I know a lot of people were really hyped about that Annihilus figure that was coming out with Marvel Select. Looks like that may not be happening either. No real word on what's going to happen to all of the IPs that they have, if those are going to be sold to other companies, or what's going to happen with like House of the Dragon, Marvel Select. I think they had, what was it, Lord of the Rings as well, and Avatar The Last Airbender. No word on what's going to happen with their IPs and those projects, but that's being shut down. I suspect we'll be getting notice of cancellation for any of our pre-orders in the next month, maybe. Also, the one that a lot of people have been talking about, the Super 7 layoffs. This is terrible. I always feel bad. I always feel bad is such an understated way. I hate when people get laid off. I hate when people lose their jobs. The kind of jobs that I used to work, a lot of knuckle dragger jobs, a lot of like blue collar work, construction work. I know what it's like to get laid off for seemingly no reason at all. Getting laid off for reasons that were not your fault because of decisions that have been made by the higher ups, because of a slowdown of work. I get that. I understand that. I feel horrible for all of them. There's also something else about the Super 7 statement when they were talking about the layoffs, and that is, reading between the lines, there's a possibility that some of their product is just not going to get made. Some of the product that they have been talking about, advertising, maybe even on pre-order. And I just want to read this part from the statement. This means we need to be smaller, we being Super 7. This means we need to be smaller and focus on the core of our business while being very specific about what we make. This allows Super 7 to be safe for the future and continue to deliver the awesome products we are known for. I think that means, reading between the lines, and I have no verification on this, this is just me speculating, I think that means we're going to see some of their lines come to an end. Some of their less popular lines. I think this means G.I. Joe Ultimates, Conan Ultimates, and unfortunately my beloved Dungeons and Dragons Ultimates are going to come to an end. I have Tiamat on pre-order. I haven't heard anything about whether or not Tiamat's going to actually get completed because she is supposed to be coming out in like June or July. I won't be surprised if Tiamat does get made. That's a lot of money because of how much Tiamat is. That's a lot of money that they would be bringing in. So I wouldn't doubt that Tiamat is going to get made. Anybody who has her on pre-order will get her, but after that, I'm not going to be surprised. Very upset, but not surprised if the D&D line comes to an end. I think Thundercats and Silverhawks are safe because from what I understand, those two lines have been doing very well for them. I also feel like that they're going to be leaning out of the Ultimates line and focusing more on the Reaction line and maybe more on like the Deluxe line, which is stuff that they already have the molds for. They just need to remake it, repackage it, less accessories. They've been doing that with Thundercats. I think there's another one that they've done a deluxe line for, and I can't remember what that is. But that's just my thoughts on what is happening with Super 7 and Diamond. Okay, now let's get back to the fun stuff, because that's what we're here for, the fun stuff, right? Let's talk about pre-orders. Let's talk about Figma re-releasing their Metroid figures. I am very excited about this. The Metroid Dread figure came out like last year or the year before. I can't remember when, but I didn't pick it up because it wasn't the classic Samus. It wasn't the classic armor. It wasn't what I was looking for. I've never even played Metroid Dread, so I had no affiliation to that. The color scheme looked cool, but I wanted her standard power suit. Well, that's what we have. Figma is re-releasing, after 10 years, Samus in her power suit and Samus in her Zero suit. And these scratch that itch. These I will probably end up getting. Now, the power suit is from Other M. Let's not hold that against it, because honestly, the power suit looks the same across a lot of 3D games. Like you could easily say this is the Metroid Prime suit. But the only place to get them right now, to pre-order them, that I am aware of, because it says they're exclusives for Hobby Link Japan. And I'm going to leave links to that in the description below. Hobby Link Japan, they're both up for pre-order. You pay on arrival, not when you order. So if you pre-order it now, there's no payment up front. We have, like I said, Samus in her power suit right here. This is $74.62, so roughly $75 USD, and it is being released January 2026. We also have Samus in her Zero suit right here. Once again, this is $74.62, roughly $75, released February 2026. No shipping costs yet. Now, because these are going to be imports, the shipping is probably going to be fairly high. Deal with that when it shows up. I'm going to guess maybe $20, $25 shipping. I don't know. I don't import figures that much, so I'm not real familiar. I don't know how much import, shipping, and handling can go. I have a feeling I'm going to be in for a rude awakening when these things show up, because I have pre-ordered both of them. I don't know if I'm going to keep the Zero suit. I definitely want the power suit, but I don't know if I'm going to keep the Zero suit version of Samus. But I have both of them up for pre-order right now. Links to Hobby Link Japan in the description below. Another one that we have to take a look at, and this came out of nowhere. These are really cool. Boss Fight Studios has introduced their Immortal Champions line. I believe this is a new line. I'm not super familiar with Boss Fight Studios. As a matter of fact, that Red Sonja figure that I did the video for, that's the first Boss Fight Studio figure that I've ever picked up. I don't know if this Immortal Champions line is something they've done before. I have a feeling that this is brand new. And these are really cool. These are figures in that 5.5-inch Barbarian scale that has seemed to just become very popular since Masters of the Universe Origins has hit the shelves again. We have 3 figures. We have Conan, we have Red Sonja, and we have the Skeleton Warrior. To be a bad guy, a troop builder, to send against Conan and Sonja, which is very cool. Very cool. I have the Super 7 Conan movie 5.5 figures. I might pick these up too. I don't know. Because I do have some 5.5 monsters coming in from Kickstarter. I need something to fight these monsters. Conan and Sonja, And you know how I feel about Conan and Sonya. So Conan, this is the comic book version. He comes with a sword and a shield. Red Sonja is also a comic book version. She comes with a sword and an axe. And then the Skeleton Warrior, which could be your army builder, he comes with a sword, shield, and helmet. I like that you can take the helmet off. If you do get multiples, you can have some with the helmet on, some with the helmet off, so they don't all look the same. You can have some with sword, you can have some with sword and shield. So there's not huge options, but there's definitely mixing and matching options to go along with that. I love the green, like that aged antique looking green that they have for the Skeleton Warriors. I think that's really cool. Yeah, these look great. There's no word on if they are, if you can like pop and play, if you can like pop the arms out, pop the heads off, like Origins does, because of their hacks line with being able to swap out parts between figures. I think it'd be really cool if you could do that, because then imagine if you got these and you could pop and play, and like you could pop parts off of these guys and swap them out with Origins. I don't know if there's any infringement going on right there, but that would be really cool. Now, the pricing on these, I have two different prices for you. That at Big Bad Toy Store, they are $29.99 per figure, $30 per figure, and I'm guessing that is the standard retail price. So $29.99, but then they also put in there that this does not include the tariff surcharge. So there's a possibility that once they come through, the price will be higher than that. More than likely, the price is going to be higher than that. Now, at Entertainment Earth, they have them straight up for $32.99. And most of the stuff I've been buying is from Entertainment Earth. And instead of adding the tariff surcharge later, they're pricing figures at like what they would currently need to price them at to be able to sell them. And there have been emails from Entertainment Earth whenever the price goes up, but also whenever the price goes down. So with the way that the tariffs are fluctuating, the prices are fluctuating, and they have said that, this is the price now, but if things change and the price comes down, we'll let you know that too. So they've been real good on communication about that. So it's my guess that the going rate is $30, $29.99, and $32.99 is what Entertainment Earth is estimating at the current import tax rate. So something that's out that I don't know how I missed, because I've been wanting a How to Train Your Dragon figure line for a while now. Well, now there is a How to Train Your Dragon line. It's being put out by Spin Master. You can get it at Target. Entertainment Earth does have it, but they're selling everything in bundles, not individual pieces. I'll leave a link to everything, the individual parts from Target down below. I'll also leave links to Entertainment Earth's landing page for How to Train Your Dragon, where you can get like boxed bundles of stuff. So Spin Master is just diving all in on this. And as much as I love the fact that there is a How to Train Your Dragon line coming out now, obviously this is based on the live action movie. Something that I'm not real thrilled about. I'm just not into like the live action movies, whether it's Disney or whether it's How to Train Your Dragon. I would have much rather these been based off of the original trilogy. Who knows if these do well and the movie does well, maybe Spin Master will go back to that well and we'll get animated versions of them. But there is a lot that they just like dropped all at once. There is How to Train Your Dragon World of Berk Book of Dragons Volume 1. And that is these. This is basically a blind box that happens to look like the dragon tomes from the movies. And I think that's really cool. You open it up and each one contains one dragon that you have to assemble. It's roughly 2 inches long. It has what equates to a stat card, that the card looks like the pages from that tome. Once again, very cool. And the box opens up and forms like a play set with a flight stand for displaying purposes. And that's really cool too. That is so cool. There are 10 different dragons. Each one, like I said, is 2 inches long. And they are $3.99 each at Target. And you can just order these online. Links, like I said, to everything down below. I'm not real big on blind boxes, but these are really cool. And even if you got multiples of the same dragon, like, is that really terrible? because these dragons are awesome. I like dragons. I like dragons. We also have figure and dragon sets. We have Astrid and Stormfly. We have Fish Legs and Meatlug, and we have Hiccup and Toothless. So each one includes a dragon with a little figure, and I forget what the size of the figure is. Let me look it up real fast, but I think they're roughly 3 3/4 figures. Give me one moment. Okay, so the description says 3-inch figure. So not even 3 3/4, it is a 3-inch figure. So taking a look at this picture of Astrid and Stormfly, Astrid is 3 inches tall, gives you some idea of how big Stormfly is going to be. So I don't have a problem with that because let's be honest, the star of these packs are the dragons. You can get them individually at Target for $14.99 each, figure and dragon. Those 3 right now are the only 3 2-packs that they're selling. Entertainment Earth has a bundle for all 3, which is $49.99, $50 for all 3 of them. Once again, I think that is including their import tax total, which is what bumps the price up, because that should only be about $45. It added $5 to the price. There is a Final Battle 3-pack, which is Hiccup and Toothless, Astrid and Stormfly, and Snotlout and Hookfang. And that's the only way it looks like to get Hookfang right now, and that is $49.99 at Target. So yeah, you got 3 for $50 right there. Now Hookfang is a little bit bigger than the other ones, so that might have something to do with it as well. Also, I really dig the packaging, how it looks like a Viking longship right there. I think that's really cool. One thing I want to check out, because I'm not sure, I don't think that's actually a longship that you get with it. I think that is just the packaging. Yeah, that's just the packaging. It doesn't come with a longship, but also for some reason it comes with Meatlug, but not Fish Legs. I don't get that. So you get 4 dragons and 3 figures. Curiouser and curiouser. So that also helps to bump the price up as well, because you are getting that 4th dragon. And once again, if we take a look at this picture right here, you can kind of see the size of the figures compared to the dragons. Now, something else that they have, which I'm not familiar with this, it's called the Titan Red Death. This mamma jamma right here. I'm guessing this is some bigger, brighter colored version of the Mother of All Dragons from the end of the animated. So, spoiler? My bad. And that is $39.99, $40 for that guy. There's a lot more that they have. These are just the ones that I was interested in, that I thought would be interesting to take a look at, because it includes the figure and the dragons. They have a bunch of different stuff of just Toothless. But these are the figure and dragon sets. This is basically what I've been wanting. I wanted it in the animated version though, so I don't know if I'm going to go in on this. I might get Hiccup and Toothless just to see, and I'll base whether or not I get anything else off of that. Now, it is the summer of Spin Master, because they have also dropped their DC Superman figures, which we're not going to really talk about today, because there will be a video coming up, because I have them. I have some of them, let's put it that way. And we're going to be taking a look at these, and I'm very excited about these. But even more, what I'm excited about is I think there's a 6-inch line coming out of the Donner Superman movies. So I'm digging that as well. But these are definitely more like kids things. These are not collectors figures. These were like $10 each, and we have some to take a look at, and that will probably be on Tuesday, so stay tuned for that. Something else that's up for sale that we have to take a look at is the newest Club Grayskull figures come out. If you haven't been keeping up on things, it is Despera. And this is so cool. Y'all know how much I love She-Ra. I love that we got Despera right now. This is a Club Grayskull exclusive, members only, Origins Despera. It is a decent looking figure. I love the unmasked head sculpt, but then she also has the Hordak head sculpt. I really like that they took her from what she originally was, just like Force Captain Adora, to basically being this completely different version that she was Despera, kind of like Hordak's right hand. I dig that. I really dig that. And as much as I like this one, and I do have the Origins She-Ra, and I'll probably end up getting this one, I want this in Masterverse. Oh, how I want this in Masterverse. She comes with 2 head sculpts, like I said, Adora with the buzz cut and the black eyes, and then her Hordak helmet on, and she has 2 swords for dual wielding, and they are the Triclops swords. Big mamma jammas to be swinging around, Adora. She is, time of recording, still available on Mattel Creations. Once again, you need to be a member of Club Grayskull, $20. And now just a quick word on all of the Memorial Day sales that are going on. Right now, today, all through the weekend, up until Memorial Day, Entertainment Earth is 15% off of all in-stock items. Also remember, orders of $75 or more get you free shipping. The Nacelle store is having a Memorial Day sale on Memorial Day on Monday, not today, time that this episode goes up, and that is 20% off select items. I'm betting that means in-stock items. And finally, Valaverse is having a Memorial Day sale. Once again, that is happening on Monday, May 26th, and it is 15% off orders of $99 or less, 20% off orders between $100 and $299, and 30% off orders of $300 or more, all in-stock items, no limits. This is probably why the Praetorian Wraith hasn't gone up for sale on their website yet. Also, if you were on the fence about getting the Vanguard, they don't have the standard ones in stock, but they have the muddied versions of the Vanguard available right now. This is your time to jump on it. If you were waiting for the price to come down, you can get the discount on it now. Also, they still have the con exclusive new Steel Brigade figure in stock with the Vac Metal helmet, so it might be a time to jump on that as well. As always, if you made it this far, thank you for making it to the end. Just a few things to wrap up with. Remember, like I said at the beginning of the video, Yojo June is happening next month, so that's my favorite time of the year. We're going to be taking a look at some G.I. Joe stuff that I still have sitting, in the corner that we need to take a look at. Also, for the members exclusive video, I have Dead Game Snake Eyes coming, the Big Bad Toy Store exclusive. However, I thought I had ordered it with enough time. Big Bad Toy Store was very dragging their feet on shipping, so I don't know if it's going to be here in time for June, the 1st of June, but we will be taking a look at that. And if you're wondering, what's Dead Game Snake Eyes, Mac? Well, think Snake Eyes, but what if Rob Liefeld? Also, Hasbro is going all in on this, on Gem's 40th anniversary. And for some reason, I am too. I never had anything Gem. I picked this up. Pizzazz is coming out. I'm waiting on Pizzazz. I don't know if they're going to be doing any of the other holograms or Misfits. I kind of hope they do. I don't know why this is affecting me, but they also are coming out with the 40th anniversary album. It's going to be on vinyl, which is really cool, which is a remixing of some of the songs from the series. Britta Phillips, who was the singing voice for Gem in the series, came back and re-recorded a bunch, including the original Gem theme, and the album is coming out July, but they, in 80s fashion, released the single that you can check out in the description below, links to the video on YouTube and also the song on Spotify, that they've put out her re-recording of the original Gem theme, and it kind of rocks. Please hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below if you have something to say about what we talked about today. I love you all for making it to the end of the video, and if you like what we do here and want to help the channel grow, please remember that you can by becoming a member for $1 a month, either through YouTube memberships or by becoming a monthly subscriber to my Ko-fi page. As a member, you'll have early access to all of our videos, access to a members-only Discord, and members-only videos every month. This month, we take a look at the Hot Toys 1/6 scale Darth Revan, and he's awesome. Please remember, everyone, play well, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, thank you for watching.